I'm Quinn, and I'm here with Monkeyboys. We're giving you your first in-depth look at Advancius' new game mode that's meant to be a little different. This is Earth Towny, where it's less about going solo and more about shaping something together and playing more closely with the community around you. It's a system built for leadership, cooperation, and maybe just a little friendly conflict, all shaped by the choices you make as a community. In this video, we'll go over what Earth Towny is, how it works, and why you will want to be part of it when it officially launches in just 3 days. So what exactly makes Earth Towny different from our other game modes like Survival or Skyblock?
Well, first, there's, new spawn, new worlds and stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe it's just to explain the name. Earth is the Earth world, or Earth comes from the Earth world.
Okay.
So there's like this Earth world, and if I walk into this portal, then it will take me to the Earth world, which this is a 1 to 500 scale world or replica, I guess, of the Earth. Yeah, so there's like continents and countries and stuff like that.
So pretty much, like, I could
world.
go to where I am right now in that map.
Yeah, and yes, you could go to your real life house or something. Yeah, wherever you are.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you can also do /earthmap or earthmap link, and it'll get you the link. Right now, this is the beta link. So it says Earth Towny beta, but for the full release, it'll just be earthtowny.advancius.net. And if you click that and open it.
So cool. This is essentially the map of like the server, and you could actually see the whole like world on this. This is really cool, and you could actually see people in the map too. I'm noticing here.
Yeah. So here's like one of the players. If I go and click on other people, you can also see the claims that people have made. So Dinker, Sate Town, and you can see where people are.
Oh wow.
On here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I try to zoom out, there we go. Now we get a little bit. So this is Europe, obviously. Yeah, we can scroll over.
Nice.
See the rest of the continents. There is Antarctica and stuff. I go down. Sometimes it takes a second to generate.
Well, I imagine
chunks,
that's
yeah.
probably a lot of chunks for sure. I imagine this would make this a lot easier for people to find like claims like towns already. So that way, if you wanted to like join like maybe a potential like existing place, it would be a lot easier to locate them instead of just randomly teleporting, right?
Yeah, you can. You can just randomly teleport, and that might get you close, but yeah, to get to specific locations, you're gonna need to walk a little bit, or use Elytra or something.
Or swim.
Swim. Yeah, I don't know. Swim in the ocean that's gonna take a while. So this is the beta, so there's not a lot of claims around, but it's interesting. Like, I guess this person decided that the middle of the desert was a good place to set up. Not sure on the logic that one, but okay.
And the vibe that I'm getting here is that this is going to be more of like slower paced in like a good way. So it's going to be more about building cooperation and like kind of group growth over time. Is that kind of like correct in my understanding?
Yeah. So yeah, maybe I can explain more about the towny part of this. For towns, you can only have one town, and there's a town top menu, and these towns are based on town points. So you can see like the top town here has like 3,000 points, and it's gonna show the top 15 towns.
Okay.
You can click to view what the town info and see the members of the town and things like that. Yeah, and town points are kind of interesting. Maybe we can talk about that in a bit. But basically, that's how like there's competition between the different towns, and you get town points by these different mechanisms. So doing events or doing PvP related things, or like killing the Ender Dragon, stuff like that.
Yeah. It's kind of fun too, like having the town points and like the town leaderboards, because I know a lot of people are, you know, definitely friendly competitive. There's a lot of friendly competitiveness in our community for sure. And so it seems like this, you know, makes it a little bit challenging and fun, adds that element of fun for that.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so town points, like the reason why you want to be a top town or anything like that, other than just, I guess, saying that you're like a top town, is over here. So there is town reputation, which this never resets. It's something you earn by being in the top 10 towns for a season. So this is one of the rewards, but also, you know, you get donor rank rewards, you get rank points, you get keys. So whenever there's an update for Towny, if you're one of the top teams, then you will get rewards for doing that, basically. Or you and all of your members.
That makes sense. It's got kind of a similar vibe to how our prison's reputation works then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, similar to the other game modes. Is you're gonna have rewards for the top teams.
Okay.
Yeah, but in terms of towns, if I do slash town, or if I do slash town, you can see it kind of looks very similar to the survival claims. The system gonna be pretty much the exact same. I think the main difference is the leaders are called mayors instead of admins, I think.
Yeah.
In survival, so
that makes sense. So I think this is going to be great, because if you are already a survival player, you've already got your foot kind of in the door and knowing how to kind of like manage your town. So it's not going to be like something completely new that everybody has to kind of like relearn. So this is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we are focusing on making this a little bit easier for players to understand, to start off with, and maybe in the future, I think we have plans to add some more advanced things. Like there's some more coming soon portals over here. You'll probably recognize a lot of these portals from like Skyblock, like the dig site, and fishing warp and stuff like that. But yeah, we also have like forest and stuff, which is, it'll be very similar to Skyblock. But yeah, those aren't ready yet. But yeah, I guess since I'm here, I can also show the overworld. So we have like these two portals to start off with. We have the Earth world and the overworld. So the Earth world, I already showed that's the 1 to 500 scale world of the Earth.
And then just to clarify, I'm going to cut in here. That's kind of like how the Glory world is in survival, the Earth world is.
Yeah. And this is just like going to be, regular survival. So, if you just not really interested in the Earth part of it, you can play this. We have this mostly so that in the future, the Earth world, we don't need to necessarily keep constantly updating that with the latest version of blocks, and like new structures and things like that. So things like the latest, like 1.21 is the latest like update that adds structures right now.
Yeah.
And those trial chambers from 1.21 are not in the Earth world.
Oh.
They're only in the regular overworld. Yeah. So that's why we have both of them, so that people can still enjoy like the new stuff or this normal survival, if they want to do that.
Which makes sense. I mean, the trial chambers are like really cool, and definitely the easiest way to get a lot of copper blocks in like a fast manner for sure. So one aspect that I don't think we've really covered yet is there are a lot of similarities to Skyblock. Like we've talked about how this is similar to survival and even a little bit of a tie-in to like prison with like the reputation, but I am seeing some really cool similarities to Skyblock as I'm playing the beta, like the server shop for selling and buying items.
Yeah, it is very similar. So yeah, like you said, we have things that are very similar or almost identical to Skyblock, like the custom enchantments, and we have some dungeons, which we'll be adding more of these dungeons, by the way. But yeah, for the shop, it looks pretty much the same, but the main difference is that you can't really buy many things. There's a few things you can buy, like spawners, and just a few miscellaneous things. But most things, especially like ores, you can't buy, and that's just to force people to actually go out into the world and go mining.
Still keeping that like survival aspect of it for sure.
Yeah, and you can still, there are still like player wharves and player shops as well. And so yeah, so the goal is that these, you will still be able to buy them potentially from other player wharves. You just have to, or other player shops. You'll just have to find them, and there'll be some sort of player run economy related to that, instead of just having the server kind of set the price for everything.
Yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense, because that also, I think, is kind of the appeal, at least for me, of this like game mode. It feels very like community driven, and so like having the base of like the economy driven by like player shops, I think is really gonna like kind of bring people together. Because if you are looking for something and maybe you're like me and kind of a bit of a couch potato and don't want to go mine the resource yourself, you can go around and visit the player shops and just kind of grab what you need, and also help support that that player when you're buying from them. So that's really cool. Yeah,
exactly. So and there is one other difference, is that you can buy these town points. So I'm gonna guess in the future these prices will be different, or maybe these won't exist at all in the future. But at least for right now, yeah, you can also just buy town points for money, and this is again to make money actually useful, other than just buying spawners.
I have the inkling that there is another perhaps surprise that you've added into this game mode. Maybe something that might be an extra challenge for people when they're grinding for things. Is that right?
Yes, that is right. We won't say their name, because that might end up bad for us. But yeah, you can see this spawn egg here. Yeah, this is also something that's not in the other game modes. Yeah, and it is definitely a difficult boss. So make sure you have some good gear. But those yeah. So the drop Soul of Herobrine, these drops are used for like a lot of the custom recipes. And you can see the egg.
Nice.
Is made through this.
I think that's definitely going to be a lot of fun for people, and just kind of fun that you worked it in, especially for the lore of Minecraft, for sure.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun making it, so hopefully people have some fun fighting him.
So I guess what I would want to know is, so we've kind of explained what Earth Towny is. Out of all the various Minecraft game modes there are out there, and there's a lot, why did we choose Earth Towny? I think a lot of people might be interested in that.
I guess I can show this. So this is Google Trends. If you don't know, this kind of shows like the interest over time for different search terms.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can plug in anything. I guess this is just Google search terms, so a little bit limited, but it should, it covers also like YouTube and images and things like that, so should be a good sample size. But yeah, so I plugged in like Earth server, Towny server, prison, Skyblock, and faction servers, just to kind of get like a comparison.
Yeah.
And then to kind of explain these numbers, you can kind of see here, but like basically 100 is the peak popularity, and 0 is like the lowest, or it just didn't have enough data to get that data point. So you can kind of see this graph of over time, but probably the average is a little bit easier to understand for like just a comparison. So Skyblock, it's the most popular game mode, so it makes sense that it is the most. 74, and then Prison. But then like, so Earth and Towny. So hopefully this makes a little bit more sense why we're doing Earth and Towny combined rather than just Earth or just Towny. Because like both of these, hopefully we'll be able to get the players who want to play these, and kind of like be able to capture like both of those audiences at the same time, which will be like about, Prison-ish.
Right.
Yeah. And then I put factions in here just as a comparison, so you can kind of see like, factions is like a game mode we have, and it's only 14. So I think, Earth Towny, we are adding it because it should be in line with the popularity of kind of a game mode we're looking for.
Yeah, kind of like what's trending and what people are looking for to play, like when they're searching for servers. That's what I'm gathering, at least, right?
Yeah, and I will say we did look into other game modes. Like if we get asked all the time about other game modes like Lifesteal and One Block. One Block, I feel like, is too similar to Skyblock, so not really sure if, I don't want to just like duplicate that.
Yeah.
And then Lifesteal, I do think would be interesting, but the problem is, Lifesteal is probably a little bit more aggressive or like toxic player base on average. Kind of more similar players to, kind of like faction players. Which, I don't know. After running a server for a long time, I just don't want to to deal with that. And and I feel like it's just gonna fit better with the rest of the community and just be like more chill overall to kind of go with the more like Earth and Towny are usually pretty chill game modes. So, player base. Anyway, I think, survival is good, but I don't feel like we were capturing the survival players who really want like a more custom or like modded experience, like our survival, we purposely try to keep it closer to vanilla. It's, it still has a bunch of stuff, but, we purposely don't add things like custom enchantments and too many custom items and like dungeons and things like that, because we want to keep it fairly vanilla for those people who want to do that. But Towny, or adding Earth Towny, allows us to add all that stuff into like an open world thing for the people who want to do that.
It's like really giving the feel of like best of multiple worlds. Like I would say both worlds, but there's like multiple different worlds, like game modes that you're getting here through like Earth Towny, and kind of everything that we've added into it. Like there's so much, like you're getting more than just the vanilla from survival, but keeping like a lot of the survival elements. You're getting a lot of the good things from Skyblock, but giving people the chance to explore, where in Skyblock it's a little limited because you're stuck on your island, so to speak, and it can only get so big. And then have kind of the reputation points from Prison. So it's so many of the core things that a lot of players like from the different game modes wrapped into one. It's really wild, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I've been excited for this. I've been thinking about this for over a year. So, and trying to figure out how we're gonna do it. So, I'm super excited to get it fully released. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. So I guess my question to you is, it's launching here soon. Would you play casually, or would a player want to lead a town in the game? Like, what would be the strategy here?
Yeah, I think they could, do either. It's up to them. If they want to be part of like the top teams and compete to be one of the top teams in, or top towns for Earth Towny. They'll need to be at least part of a team, but yeah, they don't have to lead a team. They can go try to find one of these teams, in the top teams, or go find a different team that's not in the top teams and see if they, want to have you join.
Okay.
Yeah, communities are very friendly, so I think if you wanted to find someone, you could probably find someone.
So you don't need to be a mayor, or you don't have to like run anything in particular yourself to enjoy the game mode, but it's more recommended you collaborate if like you want to be competitive.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's kind of just like the other game modes. I think if you want to just play casually and you're not necessarily trying to be like one of the top like few teams, then just playing solo and doing things by yourself, that'll totally work.
Yeah, okay. Well, that makes sense, because I imagine like as like you're building towns, like towns are probably, especially if like you're trying to like build big and have like room for everybody, towns are going to need like builders and people to go explore and gather resources and people to like decorate inside if you want to like have like fun builds and stuff, and not just like leaders. And so I think collaborating in that sense would probably make sense, in addition to also being on a leaderboard by that sort of collaboration, because you can definitely get a lot more done with more people instead of going solo. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly.
This seems like this is going to be kind of perfect for people that want a low pressure, like longer term gameplay.
Yeah, the goal of this is to have longer seasons. So more like 6 months ish time frames, longer than Skyblock or Prison. And yeah, because the shop is, you can't buy things from the shop really. Yeah, you'll have to go out and gather it or go find a player shop or something. So hopefully, yeah, that'll encourage people to play a little bit slower or having to grind a little bit more in order to make progress.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think a lot of people are going to appreciate that, because I feel like a lot of our community, they love building like massive builds or like really intricate builds. I think having that extra time to like do that, I think is going to be really great and really well liked.
Yeah, I agree. I really like, and it also allows us to have a lot bigger updates, for like when we do have an update, we will have a lot more time to make it a big one instead of kind of just like, little small ones, you know?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And there do be a lot of updates. There be
Yes.
a lot of updates. Minecraft is always coming up with something new every other month, it feels like.
Yes, yeah.
So that being said, can you be in more than one town? I know in survival right now, you can be in multiple towns, or like land claims, I guess I should say. But in Towny, can you be in more than one town? And like, if maybe you're not in a town, like what about living in the wild or playing solo? I think we kind of covered this a little bit, but I think this would be good to kind of like cover.
Yeah, so you can only be part of one town, and that's, again, so that the top towns works. If everyone could just be part of every town, then it wouldn't really make any sense to, how would you like count the points for any of that?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that, hopefully it will encourage people to be a little bit more picky on who they team up with. But yeah, things like outposts as well. You're capturing outposts for your single town. So yeah, if you're part of a town, you can't go like create another town without first leaving that town.
So I would say, from what I'm hearing, playing solo could be a legit play style, but it's gonna be definitely more of a challenge if you want to play solo, if you're like up for that. Otherwise, being part of a town is gonna be like the way to go. Like either starting your own and recruiting people, or reaching out to community and be like, hey, you have this cool town, can I be part of it? So that's what I'm taking from this.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh, how about PvP? How does PvP work in Earth Towny? Like, do towns go to war and do they betray each other, or like what is the expectations for PvP in Towny?
So yeah, PvP. We considered having like the wars or like the town wars and raiding and stuff like that. But kind of going back to like the mentioning factions earlier. After having run factions for many years, like I feel like having raiding and all that enabled is harder to moderate and manage, and also just can cause drama sometimes. So at least for right now, we're going to be starting off with no raiding. Also some people just don't want to raid. Like some people just want to play like kind of survival with some extra stuff, and I don't want to deal with the PvP and raiding stuff. So at least for right now, we won't be having like those wars. It'll just be like the outpost, and pretty soon we'll have a Koth as well, and the war zone and things like that. And there's also a brawl as well. So yeah, kind of those places will be where PvP will be enabled, but otherwise, yeah, you just gotta no PvP, no raiding.
Yeah.
Also, it's just easier to moderate for us. We don't have to deal with people, doing shenanigans.
This is true.
When they're getting raided or something. So.
This is true. So if we're talking about shenanigans, okay, this actually leads me into like a really good next topic. What should people expect for like the rules of Earth Towny? Like if we're going to talk about shenanigans, what kind of shenanigans are people not allowed to do in Earth Towny?
It's going to be similar rules to survival, or at least for right now, it's going to be the exact same rules. So all the global rules still apply, but yeah, there'll also be like no cobble monsters and
good one.
No counterclaiming.
Okay.
So yeah, if you've played survival and you know those rules, then the exact same rules for at least for now. We'll see. Maybe in the future we'll add some more, but yeah, generally stick with that for right now.
I think that makes a lot of sense. It sounds like then it's going to be easy for people to know, especially if they're survival players. They're already going to kind of know what they can and can't do. So that makes a lot of sense. And then outside of that, just really don't grieve, don't trap kill, and like just be a good neighbor. Be kind to your community. So that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So one of the things when I was looking up Earth Towny, because I kind of did my homework, I found that there are like Earth Towny servers that like allow towns to set taxes or like create nations, and we kind of talked about like easing things in. So is this something that we're thinking about doing in the future to kind of like match the other servers out there for this game mode, or what's kind of our thoughts for this?
Yeah, in the future potentially we will be doing that. Right now we're just keeping it simple, but I did just to showcase how potentially in the future it'll work. I actually forgot to mention, but there is another difference from survival, although I think in the future we'll probably add this to survival as well, but at least right now it's different, is these sub areas. So if you want to, like if you're the mayor and you want to designate certain area for only one of your town people, I guess, then yeah, you can create like a little sub area. You can give it a name. Like if this is Jimmy's area, then you can name it Jimmy's area, and and then it'll kind of show you how to set it up. So you just do like town selection, and then now that area you'll be able to edit it as well, and have like only Jimmy be able to do certain things in there. But yeah, I think that will be more figured out in the future. This is the beta. So yeah, we do kind of need to make that a little bit more easy to manage for players. But yeah, that's the goal. And then potentially in the future, when you have these sub areas, you'll be able to set taxes on these sub areas. So the people who are using the sub areas will need to pay taxes in order to keep it alive. And then I think you also mentioned nations, right? So
Yeah, creating like alliances with like the different other towns, like forming like a bigger community.
yeah. So like nations would be groups of towns, like multiple different towns getting together and forming like kind of alliances. Again, we're just starting simple, but you know, potentially, yeah, there would be some sort of like nation system set up. And those nations again would also have to pay taxes in order to like keep their status there. Basically, short answer though, right now, we're gonna keep those disabled, but in the future,
Okay.
we might have them.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe it's on the radar for potential future updates. So it's kind of maybe something nice to look forward to if we can, you know, work it in and depending how things go. So that makes a lot of sense. So I think we've covered quite a bit about Earth Towny. And of course, there's going to be probably a lot more that we could definitely talk about. But I think we've covered like the gist of it for kind of the community to welcome them into it. It has aspects of our other major game modes, like from Skyblock, like a lot of survival, a little bit of prisons. Like it's tying in those things. It's going to be more for like longer like gameplay, so it's gonna be great for people that maybe don't want as much pressure and want maybe some time to build, but also gives like a competitiveness to those who want to rank on the leaderboards. It's got a lot. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be fun. I'm not alone in saying that this is going to be really exciting for a lot of people. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Hopefully it's a good mix of all the fun parts of other game modes that people really like on the server. So
yeah, so thanks for so much for like going over this, you know, with us. I think we learned a lot collectively from this. So thanks for being available to, you know, answer my questions and answer the questions of like people in the community. This is going to be great.
of course, yeah. Thanks for putting this together, Quinn, and thanks for having me.
As you can imagine, there's a lot more to Earth Towny, but this is just a small sneak into our fun new game mode focused on teamwork and community building. Earth Towny launches in just 3 days, and we cannot be more excited to see what you create. A huge thanks to Monkeyboys for walking us through it. We're really excited to see how it plays out. For more server lore, sneak peeks, and fun facts about Advancius, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on the notifications so you can be alerted when our next Advancius Behind the Block episode drops. And if you're not already part of our growing Discord community, we'd love to see you there. You can join using the link below. See you in the next episode.
And a lot of it's pretty much identical, like custom enchantments and dungeons and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the shop is pretty different. Oh no. What? No. Hang on, just got okay. That has to go in the blooper. Okay.